Hello everyone, it's Pepsi. Once again, I am on Tier Maker again today because I thought it would be a super fun video idea to do my personal rankings of all the island unique hairs in Roblox Wild Horse Islands. Once again, these are all my personal opinion. If you want to complete your own tier list, it will be linked down below in the description and comments. If you agree or disagree with me, that is completely fine. Leave a comment on where you would place these island unique hairs yourself, and I will be getting started. Before I get started, I do want to once again give credit for all the images to the fandom wiki. I just want to say thank you so much to all the players and moderators who help contribute to the fandom wiki, so all the images are from there. And let's get started. Here I have all the island unique hairs in images from least rare to most rare, from the lowest level islands to the highest level islands. I'm going to be getting started with Blizzard Island. Again, the timestamps will be in the video bar and description as well for every single island I do. So starting with the island unique hairs on Blizzard Island, we start with the most common island unique hair, which is the Icy Black. The Icy Black, I think, is just a little bit too plain for me. It is one of the many black hairs you will see, but I don't think there's enough texture, and I think that is my issue with a lot of the icy hairs. I think there is not enough texture to really differentiate these hairs from normal hairs in the game. I do prefer the black and white icy colors just because I think the icy blue and icy pink are a little bit too light and like desaturated of a color in my opinion, just for my personal preference. So for icy black, I actually think I am gonna put it at C tier. I think it's okay, but it's not one of my favorites. For icy blue, once again, like I just said, it's just not one of my favorite colors. I don't like the shade of blue. If I go for a lighter blue, I prefer something a little bit more saturated. I think that's what it is. The texture is okay. I think the image is a little bit small from the fandom wiki, but I just don't think it's great. I'm gonna put this at D tier, just personal preference. For icy white, I do prefer the icy white over the blue, so I think I'm gonna put it at C tier. I'm gonna put this a little bit above the black, just because I think this is the only color that's like a full white. Yes, it's the only hair that's a full white. Um, I think it is cute. It's just not my favorite. Not in my top three tiers for sure. The icy pink, I just don't like the shade of pink. It's not my personal preference. Again, I don't like the icy textures, so this is actually gonna go below blue for me in D tier. Let's move on to our next island. Our next island is Forest Island. We start with the most common island unique hair here, which is Leafy. I think Leafy is underrated. I think a lot of players don't like the Leafy hair texture. I think it's really cute. I do think it goes with a lot of horse coats too. I don't love it, but I do think it's underappreciated. I feel like some players would definitely put it in D or F tier, but I'm gonna leave it in B tier. I think it is a more distinguishable and identifiable coat than a lot of the ices, and even though it's not my favorite, I think it's a good coat. I think it fits with the forest theme, and I think it looks cute on a lot of horses. The flowery coat is next. I think this is one of my favorite island unique hair coats. I love how the flowery coat looks. It is very bright and identifiable. I think it is a really cute pattern. It kind of reminds me of like flowery wallpaper, and I love it. I am gonna put it at A tier. It's not one of my absolute favorites, but I definitely think it's up there. Next, in continuation with Forest Island, we have the regular pearly island unique hair. I think the regular pearly, I love the pearly colors. I think the regular pearly isn't the greatest of the pearly variations. I think it is cute, but I just think it's too light, and I don't really like the like pinkish purplish hue for the regular pearl color. I don't think it looks too much like an actual regular pearl color, honestly. Um, if anything, I would probably rename it to pearlescent because I feel like pearlescent and pearl are two different things. I feel like if it was more whitish, like a ocean pearl, it would make more sense. I'm putting it in B tier. I like it. It's not one of my favorites. I wouldn't be mad if I picked one up, but I wouldn't be super excited about it either. And the rarest island unique hair on Forest is the pearly green. I definitely think this is an underrated coat. Island unique hair, sorry, not coat. But I think the pearly green really reminds me of jade, like the gem, in a lot of jewelry or items you see in real life. I love the pearly on the green. just because of, again, the ombres on the pearlies always make me excited. And because it reminds me of Jade in real life, I just love the look. I definitely think it's one of my favorites. I'm gonna put it in S tier. That is my first S tier Island Unique hair. For Royal, we start Royal Island off with the most common Island Unique hair, which is clear quartz. I like clear quartz, but it's not my favorite. The texture kind of reminds me of icy a little bit, and it's a lighter pink. I think it's really hard to identify. It gets confused for like white or a light pearl or pink color. Um, I think it's cute. It's just not one of my favorites. I actually like this less than the icy white and the icy black, but I do like it more than the actual icy pink and the icy blue. So I'm gonna put it in low. I'm gonna. I'm debating between C tier or D tier. I think for now I'm gonna put it in D tier. I might move it up a little bit, but it is not one of my favorite coats, or hairs. Sorry, I keep saying coats. Next on Royal Island, we have a leathery IUH. The leathery IUH, I don't think a lot of players like it. I don't love it either. I feel like it's very plain. I do think it can be used in a lot of cute tack sets, though. I think I wouldn't be mad at getting a leathery IUH. I think it does work. I think on the coats, it depends on what horse coat you do end up getting. I would put it at C tier. I feel like the leathery tack set from the archaeological finds with like a brown cowboy hat would look super cute on a leathery horse, but it's not one of my favorites. It's not one of the tack sets I'm immediately like, let me try to figure out what looks good. So I'll put it as C tier. I think it can work in certain circumstances, but it's not one of my favorites. The pearly pink. Pearly pink, I actually used to have a pearly pink Mustang, which I traded for. I did swap that out for a pearly red, but the pearly pink I think looks more purple because of the pearly filter. Um, I would probably put this at B tier. I think it looks good on specific coats. It's not one of my favorites. I don't think I love it. Um, Next we have the cow print. The cow print on Royal Island I think is super cute. I do love it, even though it only works on certain horses. This is going in A tier for me. I think a lot of the patterns go in A tier, especially if they are more distinguishable. Um, and starting with the gems for a desert island. So on desert island, we start off with Ruby. My only self-caught island unique hair is a Ruby Arabian. And I think maybe that has made me biased a little bit against Ruby just because I'm so used to it, but I feel like a lot of the gems I have the same opinion on, and it is that a lot of the gem hairs, like the ruby or sapphire or diamond or topaz or emerald or amethyst, all of these, I think that the gem hairs are just oversaturated. I think you have to have your brightness down really low to fully appreciate how they look like gem hairs. Um, so I think the ruby is cute. I really wish it was like a darker ruby color. It wasn't as bright or saturated. I think a lot of the gems I'm probably going to be putting in near each other. These are going to go in B tier for now. The limestone. Yes, limestone is next. I don't love the limestone. I think it is definitely one of the least distinguishable coats. I don't have a lot of great ideas for the limestone. I honestly rather get a leathery or icy black or white coat hair, sorry. So I'm gonna put limestone down here below those at C tier. The sandstone island unique hair I do like more. I think it's just because it's darker that the texture looks a little bit better shown up on there. But it still isn't one of my favorites. It's probably at the same level as leathery for me. The next coat or next hair, sorry, is pearly red. Pearly red is one of my favorites. It's one of my dream island unique hairs, and fortunately I did swap for one. I love the ombre of the pearly coats, like I mentioned, and the pearly red looks so cool in specific lighting. I think you can really see the transition from red to orange ish with like a good pink in between. I don't think a lot of the fandom wiki photos do these hairs justice, especially with the pearly coats. But I think even on this photo, you can really tell how good the pearly red hair looks. Um, yeah, I do love a pearly red. It is probably my top S tier. And I think the rarest, yes, the rarest coat on Desert Island is the zebra stripes. The zebra stripes I don't think I like as much as the cow print. Um, but I do like it. I just don't love it. I think the zebra stripes are around the same spot as the leafy for me, just because zebra stripes they look cute. They're a little bit like I think the only tack set that really looks good is like a black, white, or another zebra stripe tack set. Um, I just don't think the zebra stripes look super great with everything. I feel like the cow print is a better version of a black and white pattern because the cow print does, I think, just looks better personally. Again, complete personal opinions. So that is it for Desert Island. Moving on to Mountain Island. Mountain Island begins with the Sapphire Island unique hair. Again, this is similar to a lot of the other gems. I feel like it's very oversaturated. Not one of my favorites. I think the lighting has to be specific to make it look good. I also think this fandom wiki photo probably does the sapphire hair the least justice compared to all the other photos that are here. So I actually had to look at a separate photo to really form an opinion. But I do think it is around the same spot at B tier with Ruby. I actually like the sapphire a bit more than the Ruby, just because Ruby's so bright. Next, with Mountain, we move on to another gem. We move on to Diamond. Again, I'm going to put this with the other gems. I think this is about the same as Sapphire to me. I'm going to put it in between Sapphire and Ruby on B tier. The gems I think are cute, just not my favorite, personally. The Pearly Orange. I don't think this photo does Pearly Orange justice. I think Pearly Orange looks a lot better when you're looking at it in game or in other photos than this one, but I love the Pearly Orange. This is probably up here at S tier in between the Pearly Green and the Pearly Red. And the rarest island unique hair on Mountain Island is Pink Cow Print. I think Pink Cow Print is so cute. I like this better than regular Cow Print. It is definitely at A tier for me. I do have F tiers, don't worry. So this is going to have at least one, if not one or two, I believe. Um, but yeah, I do love the Pink Cow Print. Moving on to Jungle Island, we start with Topaz. Topaz, I think, is cuter than the other gems. I would definitely put it around the same place as Sapphire. I like how Topaz looks. It looks a little bit more gold to me. I really wish there was a gold island unique hair. But Topaz is really cute. I just don't think it's my favorite. Again, the gem colors aren't my favorite. Moving on to Emerald. I feel the same with Emerald as Ruby. I think it's way too bright. I don't love the red or green gems, so Emerald is definitely down here as well. In a B tier, and Jungle has a lot of gems. We move on to Amethyst, which is another gem. Amethyst, again, I feel the same with Amethyst as the Diamond. I think if I was grouping gems together, I would say Sapphire and Topaz are my favorite gems. Amethyst and Diamond are middle. And then the Emerald and the Ruby are just my least favorite with how oversaturated and over contrasted the colors are. Mossy. I do love Mossy. I think Mossy's cute. I don't know. I feel like it's good. Like some days I really like Mossy as an IUH, some days I really dislike Mossy as an IUH. Um, I feel like that's a B or a C. I'm probably putting it around the same place as Leathery, so I'm putting it around a C. I just don't think Mossy is my favorite, even though I love the color green. Green is like one of my favorite colors. Actually, I think it is my favorite color, but Mossy just doesn't look super great in my opinion. I wish it was a different type of green, like plant-based hair. I think like using moss just makes it look a little bit not great. If I had a mossy IUH though, I would definitely name him or her Algae. I think that's a cute name. Tiger Stripes. Tiger Stripes is the rarest island unique hair on Jungle Island. I think Tiger Stripes is super cute. I'm putting it at A tier. I like it better than the Zebra Stripes, so I think it is definitely an A for me. It's around the same spot as Cow Print, regular Cow Print. But yeah, so that is all for Jungle. Moving on to Lunar Island. Lunar Island. Lunar Island starts off with some hairs that I really do not like. I do not like the neon colors. I know a lot of people love the neon island unique hairs. I do not like them. And again, this is complete personal opinion, but with neon purple, I really dislike the neons, so I am putting them down at D tier. Neon blue, I also think is down at D tier. The obsidian, I do love the obsidian though. Obsidian, I think, is one of the gems and like black island unique hairs that I do love, no matter what coat it's on. So I do think that's an S tier for me. Um, I don't think it makes sense with a lot of my other thoughts. I think you can confuse Obsidian for any black normal mane and tail easily, but I don't know why I think Obsidian out of all of the black IUHs would be my favorite version compared to like Icy Black or um, we'll get into Pearly Black or Volcanic Black. But yeah, I think Obsidian is my preferred out of all of those. Moonstone, I have a love and hate relationship with the Moonstone Island unique hair. I think the Moonstone is very bright, like the neons, which makes me want to place it down here. But because it's not like a blue or a purple or a very bright color, I think it works. I would probably put Moonstone up at A tier. I think it is like a lot of these patterns where I would really like it, but I wouldn't love it if I got a Moonstone IUH. And last but not least for Lunar Island is the Pearly Blue. The Pearly Blue is not one of my favorite pearly colors, I don't think. Um, Let me actually see if I can find another photo because I know these photos don't do justice for the pearly colors. Um, but Pearly Blue, I think, doesn't look amazing. I think it's the shade of blue. I always think that the shade of like blues, if they're not done great, they're just not my preference. I would prefer if it was either darker or lighter. I think this is just too medium of like a blue color for me to love it or hate it. Yeah, even the other photos I'm looking at. So I would definitely put pearly blue over at, I'm debating between A or B. I would put it at, I want to say A. I don't think I would hate it, but I don't think I would absolutely love it. I kind of want to put it next to pearly pink. I'm probably going to put it next to pearly pink. So I'm going to put it in B tier. Yeah, because I wouldn't be excited for a pearly blue IUH. Not as much. But that is the last of Lunar Island. And moving on to Volcano Island, the highest level island. Um, I do think that ironically, a Volcano Island has my least favorite hair up first is the volcanic orange. This is an F tier for me. I just don't like the volcanic orange. Um, I don't think it looks great. I wish that this hair, the volcanic orange hair, actually was the pure mane and tail for the infernal horses. I think that makes more sense than the fire fade. I don't like the fire fade on infernal horses. I feel like if this was the volcanic black was the pure mane and tail for volcanic horses, that for infernal horses, sorry, it would make a lot more sense. But as an island unique hair, I just don't like it. I don't know what it is. I just don't love it. And I might rearrange these. I'm definitely gonna rearrange them near the end. Moving on to volcanic black. I don't know how to feel about this one. I feel like it is way too plain. It is basically like the icy black but matte. So I kind of want to put it in D or F, but I do like how it looks. Like I don't hate it. I feel like that is an indicator to put it somewhere near C, most likely. I don't know, because I would actually really like an IUH with this hair color, but I'm not excited. I am definitely putting this one around C tier. I think I would be okay. I wouldn't be super excited. I'm gonna put this higher up in C tier though. I think it is about the same excitement level for me as like a leathery or a mossy. Yeah, or like a sandstone. That looks about right. Um, Moving on, the next volcanic IUH is prismatic. Prismatic's one of my top tiers. I think the prismatic hair looks amazing. I love the prismatic IUH. I love the color transition from a green to blue. It is one of the brighter coats that look almost neon, but I do love the color changing aspect. And I think that because with a lot of island unique hair horses, you want to tack them the best you can. Having a full prismatic taxa on a prismatic horse looks amazing no matter what. Um, yeah, I do love the prismatic island unique hair. It is an S tier for me. And last but not least, we do have pearly black. Pearly black, it is one of my favorites as well. To me, this black almost looks like a dark blue. If this was a pearly blue, I wouldn't be mad at it. Um, but I love how the pearly black looks. I feel like it looks navy blue in some lighting, and I just think it looks really good. I would probably put this up here next to pearly green. So let me double check because I feel like I need to move some of this down. So this is my final tier list. I didn't really move anything. I have a lot of the pearly and patterns up at S or A. I have a lot of the gems in B tier along with some patterns and a couple of the pearly colors that I don't really love. In C tier and D tier, I have the ices, some of the texturals, and the neons. And in F tier, I do have the volcanic orange. So I do want to hear your guys' opinions. If you guys agree or disagree, if you made your own tier list, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.